forgot. Barry Allen is above killing. Get out of here. I wonder what face I'll be wearing next time we meet. Flash.
How did we get here? No, honestly, how did we get here? How did these shows go from one of my favorite things to talk about and watch to just the most emotion I get out of it is the death of a fried chicken mascot?
Or forever hold your peace.
At the time of this recording, the Crisis on Earth X storyline just wrapped up, and oh boy, was it a doozy. Not because it was good, but because it showed the problems I have with not only these crossovers, but these shows altogether. A problem that I hope we can change soon, because I love these characters, and at the moment, guys, we need to talk. It wasn't always like this, but in order to see how we arrived at the present, we need to take a look at the past and my experience with it. My experience with this universe was let's go back to Crisis on Earth X, this 2-hour coming together of all 4 major shows, which was bad. It was really bad when you compare it to last year's crossover, When the Aliens Attacked. Now look, I give that special some slack, as their main goal in doing so was to bring Supergirl into the universe, even though she is, but she isn't. The problem with this crossover is that nothing of importance happened. Oh, Stein died in a death that was more laughable than tragic? Tell me, how does that affect the other shows besides Legends? And don't get me started in the fact that they named this shit Infinite Crisis. It has nothing to do with the actual Infinite Crisis. So, how did this happen? How did something which had so much hype, so much buildup, fall so fucking fast? Well, we'll use the crossover and where these characters started at as an example, as it shows the best and worst of the creative team when it comes to handling these characters. And we'll start with the man that started it all, Arrow. When it comes to Oliver Queen, his arc has had the most growth and degrowth out of all the characters. After all, he's been here the longest. Within my eyes, the highest being his relationship and confrontation with Slade Wilson, and the lowest being Season 4. Yes, all of Season 4. That shit can go die in a flaming dumpster of fire on the edge of hell for all I care. Oliver's whole point in this crossover was 2 things. 1, his relationship with Felicity, which was just, yeah, okay, whatever. I mean, it's not as bad in Barry's and Iris's, as the whole plot did not revolve around the 2 of them, and I literally don't want to smash my head against the wall. And the second thing about the crossover is that, well, Oliver Queen is literally this version of Batman. Yes, I know the joke is that he's a wannabe Batman, but the special proved that, no, seriously, this man is their Batman.
Quick reminder. Super speed. I don't have it.
Noted.
But when the man literally starts swinging from steel beam to beam with grappling arrows, and he pulls out a kryptonite arrow like it's supposed to be normal, and no one ever really questions it, the most we get is, where did you get it? Oh, it's because of you. I think we can all call that a wrap. Another problem I have with Oliver is that in a universe where we've kind of confirmed metas, magic, aliens, and different worlds, it's hard for him to still be important or stand out. Most of the time in these crossovers, and even in his own shows, it feels like, oh, hey, Oliver's here. That's cool, I guess. The Flash, on the other hand, has been a pure example of just, what the hell are you thinking? It sucks that a character who at one point, who I claimed as my favorite to watch out of all these series, has fallen so low. Look, let's just cut to the elephant in the room. Season 3 fucking sucked. And yes, I'm sorry if you're a fan of this show, but sometimes shit needs to be called out on its own bullshit. Savitar, was a shit villain, especially if we're comparing it to Eobard Thawne from the first season, or hell, even Zoom from season 2. But it's not just the villain that sucked. Everything about it, the whole concept on why we should care, why we should stop Salvatore in the first place was, and say it with me now, kids, Barry and Iris's relationship. I'm not a fan. And the reason is quite simple. I just don't like the chemistry between the two. Which I would be fine if it was a side thing, but it's not. It's the whole damn plot, and it revolves around Barry's love for Iris. And if you don't give a shit about that, then why the fuck should you care in the first place? One other thing about The Flash is that, well, as The Flash, Barry Allen sucks. Now look, I like Grant Gustin as an actor, but when watching the actions brought forth from this show, it's shit. How is it that in one episode he can take down an entire group of thugs, but still get bitch slapped by the villain of the week? Barry till this point has fought 3, count them, 3 speedsters. Yet he feels like he's an intermediate with his powers and not one of the main striving forces of good. I'm tired of people keep telling Barry that he has to run faster in order to save the day. No shit! He's the Flash. That's like telling Aquaman he has to keep swimming in order to help the people of Atlantis. Legends of Tomorrow. Look, I'm going to be honest here. I don't give a shit about Legends of Tomorrow. The problem with Legends is just that they started off as a somewhat serious space series about outlaws and space. Firefly. Now it's this meta-breaking, fourth wall reciting clusterfuck of, we're the good guys, but the rules and shit don't apply to us, so fuck off. Also, the problem with Legends is that the tone has no idea what the fuck it wants to do. Does it want to be a serious show where dire consequences and straightforward actions, or the misadventures of space rebels doing wacky adventures? Legends also have the problem of an interchanging roster, which is okay and makes sense for a show like this, to switch the cast out every now and then and to give new characters a fresh chance and help build the old ones. Except that's its cursed double-edged sword. If you don't watch it, which, let's be honest, a lot of people don't watch it, you're going to have the following conversation. Who are you? What are your powers? Why should I care about your problems? I'm looking at you, Captain America wannabe with the powers of ghetto-ass Colossus. If ever there was an award for serious what the fuck are you doing here, well, it would be Diggle. But you would be second place. And don't tell me to go watch his episode about his story and learn about it, because I did, because guess what? I was generally interested. And guess what? It was shit. Finally, Supergirl, which, like Legends, I have the least amount to say because, well, I'm not as big as a fan as Supergirl, or I just downright dislike Legends. My problem with Supergirl, within the short realm of time I've seen due to the crossover, or with the other heroes, is that of power structure. Now, power structure sounds like an easy thing to do. Build something at a base strength and keep building on top of that with stronger and stronger things. The bad part is most writers fail when it comes to building the structure, a la case in point Flash throughout the seasons.
All right, so
the same.
No. I have this one, okay? I've heard enough. The same can be said with Supergirl. As I understand, it can be hard when it comes to her powers because she's not only from another Earth, but she's also an alien. And one of the strongest because she did beat Superman. It is canon. She beat Superman. Argument could be that, well, if there was a case of why she can't just fly around and beat all of them in a few seconds because she is the strongest, it's because of the inconsistencies that the writers put in. And mainly it's the writers of the other shows when she's coming to their shows because they want to keep their hero number one. They don't want Supergirl to just come in and outshine them. But they are trying to make her some unstoppable force, but also seem vulnerable. Because, I mean, she literally, both crossovers that she has been part of, she is the one who has to get saved and rescued by the other heroes.
You want to know how to do Supergirl right? Look at the first and second season of the JLA animated cartoon and how they treated Superman. In the first season, Superman got his ass whooped by everything and anything the JLA went up against. By the time the second season came around, the writers realized, wait, that's stupid. It's Superman, for crying out loud. And Superman rocked from there on out and was able to take as many punches as need be and dish out twice as many. It's the problem all these shows suffer from the inaccuracy and how strong they should be. Barry at this point in the crossover should be not only able to outspeed both Earth X villains, but take out all the goons as well presented in front of them. Instead, he can barely outspeed the Reverse Flash, and when he finally catches up to him, he lets him escape. Our fucking hero. Was there anything I liked about it? Well, besides one of the saddest deaths of a fast food mascot since the death of Grimace in '03? Yes, there actually was. One, as I stated earlier, was Tom Cavanaugh as Evil Harry, who, throughout all these series, is a highlight. Also, Dominic Purcell as Heatwave. This man was basically my spirit animal throughout the entire crossover. And finally, and I'm probably going to mispronounce his name, Kenyon Lunsdale as Wally West for giving me the best damn action scene in the whole event, proving what the Flash should actually be able to do.
Yes, I know when saying that people always love to throw up in your face, well, then it must suck being a fan after seeing the DCEU then. Yes, it very well does. Because, you know what? I've almost lost faith in that series of films. But I don't want to lose faith in this one as well. I grew up on DC, and it hurts me knowing that when it comes to live action, the company is just failing to get off the ground, as well as failing to adapt the storylines with these characters. A fear that is, for the most part, turned into anger, and anger into hatred. And I don't want that. Will I stay around to see the future of all this? Honestly, I don't know. Sure, Black Lightning looks interesting, and it's a nice that involves a family full of superheroes. But, even with knowing that, what was excitement at the thought of that has turned into caution and fear. And I shouldn't be like that. The first emotion I hear about a new superhero in this universe shouldn't be, oh god, how are they gonna fuck this up? Here is the hoping it's good. And not just for a season until they figure out how the hell they're going to cram it into Earth 1 timeline. Because, folks, you know they're going to. Titans is my last hope. That is the last property that I'm generally excited for that they have announced they're going to do. Mostly because I'm a huge fucking Titans fan. And that I'm excited that this is the first time we're seeing them in live action. To me, this was the excitement of when people heard they were going to do a live-action Justice League film. And we all know how that turned out. Please don't suck. But I want the show to be good. Like, really good. Like, Arrow Season 1, Season 2, Flash Season 1 good. Because I know that if it is that good, one day they'll hopefully tackle something like the Judas Contract. Or Trigon. But, unfortunately, knowing how they handled Flashpoint and Infinite Crisis, we should probably just set the bar really low. Thank you for watching and listening. I'm Slowrider X, and geek out.